Hi, Jen here with a fall Deco Mesh Wreath video for you. So I have several videos of wreaths on my channel. I've pretty much done one for every holiday with the exception of Halloween last year. I did not record that one. But you can find all these supplies at Dollar Tree. I also use craft supplies. It's either craftsupplies.com or craftsuppliesoutlet.com or craftoutlet.com. I always get it wrong. It's linked in some of my other videos, and if I remember, I will link it in this video as well. But what you have here is a wreath form from Dollar Tree. You can also find these at Walmart. They're a couple dollars more than at Dollar Tree, but you can still find them. Deco Mesh you can also find at Dollar Tree, but the rolls are really small. So you can see here I have two. I think I went through about 1.5 of these. So the rolls at Dollar Tree are smaller. So keep that in mind that you might want to buy like 10 or something to be sure that you have enough. I take my pipe cleaners and I cut them in half. And then what I do is I take my Deco Mesh and I cut 3 pieces. So if you were using, if I was using 3 different colors, say that it wasn't multicolored, I would take, say, a slice of red, a piece of green, and a piece of orange, and I would stack them on top of each other. Or you could take 3 pieces of green, 3 pieces of orange, and 3 pieces of red and stack them on top of each other. It's really however you want to do it. But I stack them on top of each other and then I roll them up kind of like a cannoli. And I, excuse me, take the pipe cleaner and I, tie it off and then I attach it to my wreath form. In this instance, I chose the outside two. The distance between the outside two is a little bit less, so it's a little bit easier to secure them. The distance between the middle and the inner is actually wider, I believe. So, and it's also nice to put them on the outside too in case you want to put a sign in the middle or something. It just leaves the opening a little bit bigger in the middle. I've thought about putting a sign. I actually had a couple that I got from Dollar Tree in the middle of this one. I actually decided not to. So what ended up happening, you'll see either in the thumbnail or at the end of this video when I post the still shot, is that the brown and the orange didn't really come through much. Mostly the cream came through, and my walls are cream. They're actually this color called Spinning Silk from Bear, which is Home Depot brand paint. So it actually ended up being a really nice neutral wreath. It's only going to be up for a little while. It's already mid-September when I put it up and recorded this, and I usually switch out for Halloween, and then I have a red, black buffalo check wreath, and I also have a Christmas wreath, and I tend to decorate for Christmas in November. Sometimes I wait till after the day after Thanksgiving. Sometimes I want it up for Thanksgiving. It just depends on my mood. But yeah, so it didn't quite end up being as standout as I thought with these colors. But I like the end result and how neutral it is. But it might have looked cool. I thought about when I went to Dollar Tree the other day, they had some like sage green with gold metallic in it. I thought about grabbing a couple rolls of those and seeing if filling in some spots on this wreath with that green, but I decided not to. That I was just gonna keep it neutral anyway, since it's not up for a very long time. So each section here, these wreath forms are divided into sections. I think there's like 9. So initially, when your wreath is first being built, like as it gets fuller, it's kind of like each section seems to take less. But I would say each section takes anywhere between 6 and 9 of these like cannoli poofs. As you can see here, I'm counting them and showing them to you. And I did not fluff yet, so I'm just going to make all of these little poofs, and then at the end is when I'm going to, actually go back and fluff them out. And I'm going to do that at the very end. And that's kind of because I've come a long way in my wreath making and I just trust my process now. Whereas before, I wanted to make sure I was doing it right. So I would make a section and then flip it over and fluff it out. It's actually just easier to do when they're a little bit flatter. The Deco Mesh is super messy if you don't already know that. So I have a towel down because it sheds like these little stringy pieces that are actually like hard kind of because the Deco Mesh is relatively stiff. Um, so my crafting table, I reopened my candle shop, which is sweetbrindlecandleco.com. If you're interested, coconut and soy wax candles and wax melts with $1 from each candle and wax melt sold. Going to my local Humane Society, which you saw my dog stick her head in at the beginning of this video because she always wants to know what I'm doing. But I reopened my candle shop, and my table that I was using for crafting has become part of my shipping station. So I need to get another table because it was just really nice, especially for painting and things, to not have to use my coffee table, which my coffee table is round and it's also wicker. So it's a little weird. But that's why I have the towel down, and then you have to vacuum like everything. I vacuum the towel, vacuum the coffee table, vacuum the floor around, where I was working, vacuum, pieces stick to the couch. You'll find random pieces everywhere. I don't know if something like spraying hairspray on it would prevent that. Like, I know it can for like glitter, but I don't know. This Deco Mesh just sheds, and I guess it's just the way it is. So you can also use Deco Mesh tubing, which is fun to work with. I did that with my first ever wreath, which was a combination of Deco Mesh ribbon like this, and well, actually from Dollar Tree, and then a Deco Mesh tubing, and that's kind of fun. It's not quite as messy as the ribbon is, but it makes a fun and interesting wreath. And my Dollar Tree already has out Christmas colors in the Deco Mesh tubing, and they're actually already starting to put out Christmas signs and little things. I didn't see anything that like really stood out, at least not yet, anyway. So now I've turned my wreath over. I did run out of my white pipe cleaners, and actually the only other color I had was green, which you cannot tell. Plus the wreath form itself is green. But here I am fluffing out, so you can see what they look like flat. And essentially, I just pull up both sides, and I kind of like twist and pull out like each of the three pieces to fluff it to see if there's any spots that might need more, um, more another poof or more fill. So this is how I figure out if there's any bare spots or thin spots. I also do some floofing once it's hung up on the wall as well. So that's just my process. It works for me. Um, and it's just easier. I've gotten it down. It used to take me 2 hours to make a Deco Mesh wreath, and now it basically takes me a little over an hour. I think it depends on how complicated and like what else I'm doing, but these kind of simple ones are like between an hour and an hour and a half. So here is getting close to the final product. I guess I should take this chance to say, hi, my name is Jen. If you're new here, this is an introverted lifestyle channel. Check out my other wreath making videos. I have another fall crafting video that I plan to work on and post, hopefully while it's still fall. I also do book reviews, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, Dollar Tree shopping hauls, my Ipsy glam bag reviews. So if any of those things interest you too, I hope that you will give this video a like and hit the subscribe button, so that you can see new content when it comes out. But wreath making is just like very relaxing for me, and it's something I really enjoy. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I think I'm just gonna put some music on for the rest. So in the meanwhile, stay introverted. Bye guys.